all cases of excesses reported will be investigated equally. There is no non-police squad that is involved in killing people.
In Kenya's charged political landscape, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has become a central figure in a painful national conversation. A man whose words and actions have sparked fury and whose latest statements have left Kenyans asking, what does justice really mean in this country? On July 15, 2025, Murkomen faced the cameras again, this time saying something different. No police officer has an excuse to commit crime or to kill.
Rules that excuse a police officer that if you are not in uniform, you can commit crimes or you can kill people. The same law that upholds killing of citizens by a police officer in uniform is the same law that also upholds the same from a police officer who is not in uniform. There are clearly indicated situations where a police officer may not be required to be in uniform. And sometimes when they're doing investigations. And some investigation officers are always embedded in these situations to make sure that they collect the evidence immediately.
A public declaration after weeks of silence and after days of relentless anger in the streets. But for millions of Kenyans, this statement comes too little, too late. The pain began long before July 15. On June 25th, the streets of Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, and many others filled with the chants of angry, grieving youth. They marched not because of taxes, but to protest police brutality, government oppression, and the tragic death of young Kenyans, including victims like Albert Ojwang, a teacher and activist who died in police custody under suspicious circumstances. That day was not just a protest, it was a turning point.
Uchokoze polisi, hii ni kama kutupa inchi kwa mtaro. So hiyo kwanza ujue, hiyo aturudi nyuma. Mtu yote unataka kufanya maandamano, kwanza anza maandamano na bibi yako na watoto yako.
Instead of dialogue, protesters were met with force, live bullets, abductions, police brutality broadcasted in real time. Over 70 people killed across the country in just weeks. Many others vanished without a trace. And then, something even more horrifying happened. In Kiambu County, a small home became the scene of unthinkable tragedy. 12-year-old Bridget Wainaina, a bright, happy girl, was at home watching TV when a stray police bullet tore through the wall of her house. She died instantly. Her mother, Lucy Ngugi, shared the horror, saying, and I quote, "It was around 6:20 in the evening. There was shouting outside, then a loud bang, and suddenly my daughter was lying in blood." End of quote. Today, July 15, was Bridget's burial.
A bit earlier on, there was a bit of, tension that there might be chaos around this place, but I can tell you that indeed police have camped outside here and even in church, even others in civilian, just to make sure that this place is as calm as it can get in order for the family to really give their kin and their loved one a befitted send-off during this day.
Her small white coffin carried through a village in mourning, a community broken. Her only crime was being born in a country where bullets fly freely, even into people's homes. But this story has many villains. Murkomen, who today condemned police killings, had just weeks ago called protesters terrorists in civilian clothes, branding young Kenyans criminals for simply demanding justice. This is the same cabinet secretary who ordered police officers to shoot anyone entering a police station. a statement that caused national outrage, only for President Ruto himself to follow it up with chilling instructions. Don't kill them, shoot them in the leg.
So mtu ambaye anaenda kuchoma biashara ya mtu mwingine, mtu ambaye anachukua moto anaenda kuchoma biashara ya mtu, anaenda kuchoma mali ya watu wengine, mtu kama huyo apigwe risasi miguu, aende hospitali, akienda kotini. Yes. Yeah. Wasimuue, lakini wapige hii miguu ivunjike ndio aende kotini, aende hospitali, akienda kotini. Hapana. Hatuwezi kukubali.
Meanwhile, courts have struggled to uphold justice. Murkomen even criticized the judiciary after a Kitengela court granted bail to protesters accused of storming a hospital while fleeing police terror, calling 50,000 cash bail too lenient.
The other thing that I needed to emphasize here in that regard is that the fact that nearly 1,500 people have been arraigned in various courts. And we must thank our courts because they have been cooperative in most of the instances to make sure that we get also relevant time for investigation and so forth. You will realize that this administration means business and the National Police Service means business when we told the public that people will be held into account. I look forward to successful prosecutions and convictions so that the people of Kenya can begin to separate the wheat from the chaff, and so that we can start knowing, separating those who are exercising Article 37 rights in the Constitution and those who are intended in violence.
And yet, in this very protest, children like Bridget lost their lives. Families were shattered. Young bodies lined the streets. And as Kenyans lit candles and chanted justice, their leaders, those meant to protect them, spoke the language of violence.
Shoot, but do not kill. I want to repeat it here. In fact, shoot and kill. You cannot have someone coming after your life and you do not want to shoot and kill. You cannot have someone who is going to terrorize you and your family and you are telling me you cannot shoot and kill. You cannot have someone who is coming after your businesses armed and with weapons and you want to tell me that you cannot use shoot and kill. The Constitution, the Police Act has given the police the powers to use their arms where they have evaluated the risk of their lives is in danger. And I want to say, these people have been terrorizing people. Anyone who wants to go to a protected area like StateHouse is not an ordinary person.
Now, with Murkomen's latest comments, many ask, is this a change of heart or a well-scripted PR stunt to calm rising anger? Because for the families burying their children, for the youth who watched their friends disappear, for the mothers who will never see their sons again, words alone are not enough. Kenya is at a crossroads. Will this government finally be held accountable? Will the cycle of protest and police brutality end? Or will the same system that killed Bridget silence the next generation too? In the streets, the youths are defiant. From Kiambu to Nairobi, from Mathare to Dumberi, they are standing up, refusing to be silenced. Their message is loud and clear. This is not about politics. It's about humanity. It's about dignity. It's about the right to live without fear in your own country. Today, the world watches. Kenya's history is being written by the courage of its youth and by the choice of those in power. For Bridget, for Albert, for every Kenyan lost to state brutality, the call remains: justice or nothing. Thank you so much guys for watching this documentary. My name is the commentator, mjukuu wake Papa Francis. Unanitafuta hamunipati. Please subscribe to my channel. We are road to 500,000 subscribers. Bye bye for now.